Everybody, welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi. Where all things sci-fi come to life. We've got delicious treats, Gruffy and Moose in the house.
That's how we do it.
Oh my goodness gracious!
And if you don't know because you're listening, you need to tune in to see what Scruffy looks like.
That's right, Scruffy.
If you guys can donate so I can get some of this down. We're taking donations so that way next week I don't look like this.
Well, if you go over to your mannequin that's off camera right here, you can just grab a new one, put it on, slap it on. I'm gonna open my water here.
There you go. All right.
Is that better? Feel better?
Yeah.
Man.
There you go. You can't open the water?
I couldn't open the water. It was just slippery.
Okay.
Treat.
That delicious treat.
Oh, yeah. We've been doing so many other things. Most you don't even have background up today.
No, I didn't. I didn't even put a background up.
He's in the void. He's in the void.
Yeah. There was a lot of technical difficulties earlier, so we worked through it. We're here. We're live, talking about. I don't know. What are we talking about?
It looks like Magic Mike and I are in the same room, and then you're just like the missing.
Yeah, piece. I am like that. I'm like, I'm the missing link.
He's the watcher.
I should put you guys together, shouldn't I, on this podcast? Should I be the separate? I should.
Separate. No, I think it looks cool with you as being the.
Yeah, separate. You're the.
Because that helps fill in whatever might be between us too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. It looks like it definitely looks like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Well, let's be honest. We are in the same room. We just
we pretend a lot, though, don't we?
Yeah, we're in the same room. What's going on, buddy? You all right?
Hey, don't do that.
Hey, pass me that. Pass me that. Really.
Hey, give it to him. What? Give it to him, Magic Mike.
Dude. Yeah, man. Oh.
What? Thank
you. There you go. There you go.
Jeez, appreciate it. Thank
I know, man. The guy was trying to not give you
thirsty.
A drink.
Listen, I was busy sharing, man.
Yeah, lay off those little Debbies.
Oh.
I tried to
got him.
Take it back. I don't want it no more.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Almost.
We had one.
A little bucket there.
Well, guys, there's fun stuff to talk about, but we really wanted to talk about X-Men. That was what's on tonight's docket.
Mm-hmm.
And X-Men 97. There's a lot of stuff. I'm not going into it, by the way. It's still a pregame, but there's a lot of stuff out there, like sports and stuff, where you see like the Jaguars 95, and then the stuff from it's catching all over the place.
Yeah. Hey, listen, in Game God, he liked the way the Knicks were going back, to the early 90s too, and they finished that way too. They finished
when the Pacers rocked them.
Yeah, they finished.
They lost the last one. Yeah.
Hey, listen, you wanted some nostalgia? There you go.
It's so wrong.
Hey, hold on, where's it at?
No, it wasn't a choke job, but that's a podcast for another day.
You need to play that one.
Reggie Miller all day. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I don't even know. I do know who's playing in the final playoffs series. I saw that and I was like, oh, really? I had no
interesting.
Idea.
Different teams.
I had no idea the Timberwolves were so good.
I didn't know they were in there. So there you go. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
It's Maverick and the Timberwolves, right, in the West.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it's in the East.
Boston's,
it's the Celtics. And hold on, don't tell me, Pacers. Yeah. About that.
I had no idea. Interesting. There's actually the game one is tonight.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Eastern Conference game one.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win that one? Eastern Conference. Who do you think?
Boston.
You think so?
Yeah.
Who does Boston have?
The same people they've had over the last.
They haven't changed, right?
They haven't changed at all.
Paul Pierce is still there.
Yeah, he's still there. Garnett's still there.
Paul Pierce
still there. Paul Pierce.
Oh, Pierce, Garnett. Okay.
Yeah.
They still got Ricky Williams.
No, he's not there no more.
No, he's not there.
No, he's not there. He's not there.
Ricky Waters.
Ricky Waters.
No.
No,
All right.
wrong channel. Wrong channel.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Is it Kelsey or Chelsea?
But you know, the funny part is probably going to be the Timberwolves in Boston. That's what it's going to be.
You think so? Timberwolves are going to beat the Mavs?
Really?
You think?
Yeah. Mavs are like ranked 6 or something like that.
Doesn't matter. They're in the finals.
I know. I hear you. Hey, but it'll be Timberwolves. You know who the Timberwolves they got?
They beat Denver, right? Timberwolves beat Denver.
Did
Yeah.
they really?
That's a big upset, I think, right?
They got Rudy Gobert. I can't say his name, but Rudy. They have Rudy, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep. Yeah.
They got Anthony Edwards, who's
Yeah.
they're comparing him to Kobe and Michael Jordan.
Of course.
And
Oh,
then they have there's a third. Carl Anthony Towns.
So that's a tall guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they have 2 7-footers to
Yep.
start.
Wow.
2 7-footer starters, and they got like a bunch of quick dudes. So and their bench is pretty deep. So
Who's going to win it all then?
So what we're saying is that Donovan
Timberwolves.
Mitchell should have never left and Rudy Gobert in Utah. They should have stayed. They had a
Yeah.
good combo.
Yeah.
I don't know why they broke that up, by the way.
You know why they broke it up. Come on, man. That's a podcast for another day. You know why they broke it up.
They broke it up because the one got jealous from another. That's all.
That's exactly what it is. The story of every team. Story of every team.
Ridiculous.
Story of every team. But
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Timberwolves will win it all.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the coach of the Timberwolves? Don't look it up. You don't know.
I can't remember. I know it, but I can't remember.
Really? Was he an ex-player or no?
No, he's been a coach for a while.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know who it is. That's why.
You probably do know if I
Well, I
told
mean,
you.
I might know the name. Yeah. But
Yeah, if you just mention the name, you'll know.
isn't there still some like I don't know. Jerry West,
Chris Finch.
Finch.
Yeah, Chris Finch.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, well, I
That
guess you
sounds
don't. I
familiar.
guess he's not that.
No, it sounds familiar. It sounds like a former player, like a bench player.
It probably is. He probably was.
Wow.
He beat the Nuggets because he was alongside. He was the coach. He was the assistant coach for Mike Malone.
Who?
Mike Malone is the coach for the Nuggets,
Oh, I had no idea.
and he was
knew
the
the game plan.
yeah. I mean, if he didn't change it, yeah, he knew the game plan.
Well, I mean, the players don't change really.
No, not at all.
All right,
But
I'm
anyway,
going to left
yeah.
instead of right this time. They won't even know what's coming.
Hey, we're just gonna take that play and we're gonna reverse it. We're gonna just flip it.
Flip
Put
it.
it in the mirror. Put it in the mirror.
You'll have
You know
no
what that-
idea.
You know what I call that? That's a Y. Right trigger. That's it. Flip. Y audible right trigger.
Yes, it is.
Oh man,
Anyway.
that's Brew 32.
All right. Well, that's enough of the sports talk to get us going here. I know we needed something different. You know, we have X-Men tonight, but if you haven't seen X-Men 97's finale, well, you need to watch it.
Yeah,
This is
what's
fun,
going
huh?
on?
Are we
What's
doing
going on?
spoilers?
The question is, what's going on? Yeah,
Spoilers?
of
Oh,
course.
this is all spoiler. It's a spoiler alert. Yeah, this is the official spoiler alert pre-podcast. We'll do it again on the podcast. Make sure
Get the
everybody-
music.
All spoiler podcast.
There you go. I was waiting for it.
That's all we can do. No, we can do that. We can sing it ourselves. We just can't play it.
The Game
Oh,
God for
can
sure
you?
can sing it because nobody will have any idea that it's where it's from.
Right. You're absolutely right. So I'm the foolproof plan.
Yeah.
The foolproof plan?
That one too.
What? I feel like I'm playing bingo or something. What's going on? Huh?
Yeah. I thought you would have that down.
Oh yeah, no, I can't.
mean,
that part I don't have. But
Oh,
I'm
really?
gonna do like the slower part.
All right. Well, we'll let's get started. Let's talk about it. If anything else comes up in the middle, we'll just talk about that too. But let's get going. How about that?
Let's do this.
All right, here we go. If you've seen X-Men 97, well, this is the podcast for you. At least on this episode, it's all about X-Men 97, the finale, everything that happened in between from the start to the finish, and anything else that might come up.
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Episode number 433, with X-Men leading off this charge. I can't believe it's been 433 episodes, and we're still talking about X-Men 97.
Yeah, we started back in 97.
We started in 97 talking about X-Men, and here we are. Episode number 1 was about X-Men, the animated series, and here we are. The final episode of this podcast ever. And we're talking about X-Men. All right, no, that's not true. Don't. But this might be a spoiler for you if you have not seen this. But I can't imagine who hasn't seen this. Matter of fact, if you're on social media, you have to stay away so you don't get spoiled. I mean, it is so difficult to scroll past anything and then not see, a picture of Magneto. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I was doing that because I didn't watch it the day of. So until I watched it, I was like, nope, stay away.
Yeah, two things. Yeah, first of all, if you saw it on social media, you saw the episode because they showed everything on social media. Yeah. Number two, if you didn't see it, what's going on? I mean, there's something wrong with you, because I think this is one of these shows that you actually were waiting for the minute to hit to watch the show.
This is like the new Yellowstone. I mean, like it is like
yes,
yeah,
absolutely. By the way, what happened with that? Are they coming out with another season?
They were supposed to have, and they keep.
I thought they were going through some contract problems.
They were.
Pay everybody. Pay them.
Then they teased that they were done, and then now it's still nowhere to be found.
Listen, just pay them.
I just saw a little thing the other earlier today, as a matter of fact, of like Kevin Costner at the Cannes Cannes Film Festival, and he was like crying, and they were doing like a tribute to him. So I don't know.
Oh, well, they haven't even continued.
That guy's like 82
either.
What? Wait a minute. One at a time.
They haven't continued 1923 either. That was the one that came out after that.
Yeah, there's no continuation of that. That's dead right there. Boom, done. Fast forward 1912 or whatever it was.
Well, here's the thing. You don't got much time with Kevin Costner. What is he, like 82, 87? How old is Kevin Costner?
You really want to know his age? Because I think it's going to be somewhere around 69, 70.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
You mean
72.
No way? No, he's not 72. 70 max.
No. You're right. 69.
Oh man, give me. Hey, yes, thank you. Right here, right pie.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, I think it's still plenty of time. The guy's a great actor. I love his stuff. Yeah, he's doing another Western thing, I think.
Is he really?
He's got another movie?
Yeah, it's like a show or a movie or something. Yeah, it's coming out. So it's gonna be on like
Horizon.
Yeah, that's it. Horizon. That's it.
Yeah, it's a show.
If
he does that, he's not coming back to Yellowstone.
That's what I say, because it's too many variables there. But what about isn't it like Amazon, or what is it? Is it Amazon or
this is on I can't tell what this is on. It doesn't
Netflix, Amazon.
It's a Warner Brothers picture.
Oh, so it's going to be
Max,
HBO Max.
Yeah. Friends and families and foes discover the lore of the Old West as the Civil War divides the country.
There you go. Dances with Wolves Part 2, man. I love it. I love it.
In song form.
Yeah. In song form.
Yeah. 80s ballad form. All day.
It comes out at the end of June. It comes out.
June. Yeah. Speaking of coming out, didn't Dune Part 2 come out on Max?
Today. It got released today.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, watch that. Game God, did you see that yet?
I've seen Dune 2, yes.
Well, you might want to look at it now. Not the cam copy. You might want to look at this one now.
Hey, what
are you talking about cam copy? What the heck are you talking about? Hey,
you know what I'm talking about.
Listen, if you're going to bring up something like that, have either one of you seen Rebel Moon 2, the second?
I haven't taken the time yet. I want to do it, but I'm afraid that I've seen the whole ending anyway.
Moose, let me just tell you, you are wrong. You have seen Rebel Moon 2.
Okay.
If you have seen the first one or the trailer, You have seen Rebel Moon 2.
I was about to say, where's he going with this? Because I don't think he's right. I thought he was gonna say you're wrong. You didn't see the movie. I was like,
No,
something wrong there.
That's why you have these gut feelings, and you're like,
We talked about that. We
Yeah.
said this. We might be afraid this is what we see, and it's exactly what everything we said on that podcast. It's like they went back and rewrote the movie to fit what we said, because that's exactly what
that
happened.
makes sense. That makes
You know, and here's the thing, Moose. Without spoiling anything for you, I mean, it's the same as the first, right? So if you like the first, you're gonna like the second, right? But there's no
sense.
surprise.
I was disappointed in it first.
Well, you might be disappointed in the second.
All right, just
Yeah,
check.
but the thing is that I feel like you don't
Does Steven Seagal come out for at least like two
for the first 5 minutes of the movie
Yeah,
falls out of a plane.
Yeah, because that's what I'm hoping. Because that
No,
would
I mean,
really
it's just there's no drama, there's no cliffhanger, there's no aha moment there. There's nothing. It's just like, okay, well, you should have just put this in the same movie. And by the way, I'm mistaken. That Horizon, it's not a show. It's a 3-hour movie.
Oh, it's 3 hours. So it is Dances with Part 2. I got you.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
for
is.
sure, 100%. Yeah.
3 hours and 1 minute.
Tutanka. Gun- All day, man. I love Dances with Wolves. I think it's great. Yeah. Right here.
Hey, Dancing with Wolves
Listen,
or The Last of the Mohicans? Which
hey,
one?
listen, hey,
That's
Game
the
God.
wolf.
That's because Moose used to dance with wolves because he was alive during that time. That's why.
That's
he-
right.
he
That's
loved
right.
it so.
That's right.
Very true. Yeah,
Moose,
my
what
own
did you
wolf.
say? Dances with Wolves over Last of the Mohicans?
Yes, absolutely. All day. All day. Now, a better question would be, is it Dances with Wolves or what was the one with
Is it
Mel
Braveheart?
Gibson? Mel Gibson. Oh, Braveheart. That would be a good battle. But no, the one that Mel Gibson was in that was during the time period of
Oh,
Patriot.
Patriot. Yeah, with his sons.
Now, listen, that's a great show too.
That's great.
Yeah,
That was-
I think I'm
that
choosing
is-
the Patriot only
Nah,
because
I think I'm going Dancing with Wolves. I think I'm going
well,
Dancing with
it's
Wolves.
close, but the only reason why is because the Patriot's more nonstop and Dance with Wolves has the little lulls, which is great, which is fine. But if I was to compare the two,
Listen,
I would go Patriot.
Dances Wolves,
Great
music
storytelling.
for best.
Oh,
one of the
you
top-
didn't ask about the music.
Well,
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. Well, sometimes that makes a
No,
movie.
complete package here.
does.
Come on,
That's
wait.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I don't like the sandwich because the cheese wasn't great.
Hey, let me ask you this: when's the last time you watched Dance with the Wolves?
About a week ago, by the way.
It's been a while for me, but I believe if Moose brought it up, it's because he saw it last
I
night.
watched The Patriot recently, so there you go.
There you go. I'm telling you. Well, either one of them on, I'm like, keep it here. Keep it
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna leave. Yeah, if you're flipping through, you're like, no, we're stopping right here. We're just watching.
Stop it. Yeah, just stop it. Just let it play.
And you watch it like you ain't seen it before. You're
Like I haven't seen it ever.
Yeah,
I'm
And everybody else leaves the room like, we gotta watch this again. You're like, yeah.
like, you lean back, you cross your arms.
yes. Same thing. By the way, same thing with Braveheart. Just leave it on.
Braveheart, the soundtrack in Braveheart is
Great.
amazing.
Hey, gang, have you seen Braveheart?
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen
Have you seen it?
Braveheart probably more than
Have you, Magic Mike? Have you seen it? No.
I have seen Braveheart.
It's good. It's really good. Yeah. Yeah. It's outlaw music played with outlaw pipes.
By the way, that was on recently when I was traveling, and I kept
You
it
just
on. I
watched
watched
it
it, of
on.
course.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
absolutely.
All
Can't go
right. That's enough. All right. So X-Men 97. All right. 10 episodes. The final 3 was like the final battles. Like it's like 3 battles in one. Maybe 4 or 5 actually. But all right, what's the consensus of this? I mean, as a whole, X-Men 97 as a whole, what are you giving this? Or should we just wait? Should we wait for that at the end of this?
No, let's give it now, then we can talk about it.
tear off the band-aid. Come on.
Yeah, just rip it off. Okay,
right,
well, listen,
well,
I'm gonna predict Game
It was
God's
5
score.
seasons, by the way, of the original, I believe. X-Men the
Yeah,
animated
5,
series.
yeah.
It was 5 seasons.
You're correct.
And I recently started just going back and just kind of flipping through and watching that too. And it's fun to see the characters from then, and then of course fast forward to today, and you're like, okay. But what's your overall opinion of this series, the way it is, just for what it is, the way it delivered? Magic Mike, what do you think?
Let me try. Game God always tries to do that because he doesn't want to go first. I will go ahead and just do Game God for you, and he's going to be. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay.
And I think that's about that's a pretty good score. It was I liked it, but I didn't like the story. I liked the action. I wish they had done less story. And that's what I have to say about X-Men 97.
All
Oh, that's
right,
pretty
I
good.
got
That's
God.
great. That's
Thank
great.
God. What do you got? What do you got?
Let me do Magic Mike. You know, I gotta agree with you, Moose. This was a spectacular show. I mean, I got so much to say about it, but it was good. It was good. And let me tell you, I think it's just as good as you say it, Moose. I agree with you.
All right, there you go. That's perfect, and I'm going to use that soundbite later. What
Mark
is
it,
it?
mark it down. Mark it down.
Yeah. All right, so who's going to go? Who's going to say? I mean, you.
I'm going to
Listen.
give my beef first about it.
All
Let
right,
me
go.
just say what I don't like about it, not what I didn't like about what I don't like about it. And it's
All
not
right,
really
go
a
Give me what
negative.
you don't like.
It's just the only thing. Now I want to watch it all over again. There is so much stuff going on, especially these last episodes. I'm trying to, in my brain, process everything. Okay, this happened. What about that? Did this? I'm trying to remember because there was so much stuff, and I want to watch it again. But that's rare nowadays. We don't typically just want to watch
it. You hate that you want to watch it again. You hate
No,
that?
I hate that I have to. I didn't say I hate. I said it's a negative, but not because now I have to spend the time again to watch it again. But this was so good. X-Men 97, well beyond my expectations. I know we talked about in the beginning how there were some things that we really liked about it, some things we didn't. Small things, nothing major. Morph being one of those. And we weren't getting enough of certain things, but because the laugh was so much different.
That's iconic, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly. But going into specifically these last three, I can't think of certainly not another animation, but even maybe another show that's out or been out recently that's better. This takes the cake for me. This is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
I'm gonna circle back to that. All right, Game God, tell me what you got.
Listen, you guys always put me in this position, right? I hate to be in it because you always make me be the bad guy here.
7.5?
I got to tell you guys something, man. This show for me, it started out good. Like, we were head over heels in the beginning, and as it went on, man, this show was amazing. it was something else. I got to tell you, the 10 episodes, and it feels like I've watched 20 because of all the information they put into it. To your point, Magic Mike, you almost have to go back and watch it again because there's so much stuff happening in the background because we focus on the characters right in front of us. And there's things that happen in the background. You're in scenarios and situations and backgrounds that you're like, oh, I know where they're at, but you're not paying attention to it because you're paying attention to what's going on in the forescreen. I watched the last 3 episodes 3 times over.
Oh, wow.
Right. So because first of all, I couldn't believe some of the stuff they've done in the last 3 episodes. I'm like, wow, did they do that for real? Then there was iconic lines, right? And for me, one of the lines with Magneto says, I've been waiting for a while to say these 2 words. And he told him, shut up. And he slaps the thing out of him. I'm like, so, but it goes to show, even when Professor X was inside Magneto's mind, right? And seeing the history of Magneto, of what he went through, so they managed to check. Did we get this? Check. Did we get that? Check. And then leave you saying, when you thought you've got all the meat off the bone, you get to the end of the season and you're like, oh man, there's a whole other steak waiting for me.
Yes.
And so that's the other piece. So the negative I have to say is I've read that we're gonna have to wait some time before we get season 2. So they said it was completed, the story's completed, but the animation is not. So that's my negative on it. And by the way, I think Tomato Meter, everyone agrees on this one. It gave it a solid 100.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I would agree.
All right.
That's
Well,
impressive.
can I go now? Is it my
Yeah.
turn?
Yeah.
Can I go?
Your turn.
All right. Here's the deal. All right. Started off X-Men 97, everything you wanted it to be. Everything you wanted it to be. In the middle of this whole piece, and I'm not going to break it down just yet, but in the middle of this whole piece, you got a lot of stories happening. This is just like, a Marvel movie. And there's stories over here, stories over here, stories over here, stories over here. And so it felt like everybody had a little piece of the pie. It did. It really felt like that. I thought they were going to go too long in the Jean Grey piece. They end up not doing that, which I'm happy about. I thought they were going to go even deeper. I'm like, we've already seen this story. Please don't tell it again. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't take the bait. And then the later half, was just, it's probably some of the best action and writing from an animated series that I've ever seen, ever. From the fight scenes to which characters and how they use the characters, it was completely the way that a comic book would be. And I think that this series could quite possibly be just better than the original. And that's a lot to say,
A hot take right there.
but it's everything you wanted from even the previous series. So that's why I wanted to go back and look at the original series again. And I'm not completely sold on that yet. But when I look at the complete piece from start A to Z, and when I'm going to try to do that with the old series, I'm just telling you, it fills in, it gives you a cinematic feel in this animated series. And that is impressive because that's difficult to pull off, but you feel it. So I want to go back and go, okay, well, these fight scenes that I remember from the past, do they invoke this same type of, ooh, they just did that? Ooh, I can't remember if they really did that. So
Well,
I'm giving it high marks. That's very good.
you know, Moose, I disagree with you a little bit in this regard because I get that it's one season, but I think it's, if they do what they did this first season, it will be better than the original.
But that's what I'm saying is that as a single season period, it is simply a great body of work for a single season period. I mean, it is. There are some things that I did not like about it. And I'm really not going to share those things with you because they're minor, but I think that what they could cater to for a younger audience, they put in this, which, you know, as adults you go, I can overlook that. Yeah. But as a kid, you may not be able to watch that because of some of those. And those things that they're minor, but I feel like, man, you could have captured even a larger audience without these little things. So that's just me. But when I look at the overall, you know, script of it and the way that it was choreographed for these fight scenes, I just think it was amazing. You know, to see Mr. Sinister with a long battle scene.
Yeah.
You know, this is great to see Nimrod with you know, or Sebastian, I mean, you know, whatever, with a long battle scene. And of course his went very long.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just, oh, boom, 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 he's out. Nope. He's still going.
Hey, you want to talk about final boss?
Yeah.
You know, I have a question for you guys in regards to all these fight scenes, right? I love, first of all, how they've titled Magneto as an Omega threat level.
Yes.
Right. And I love that he delivered on that, right? He delivered on that. And I do you think in this cartoon, so at the end, the animated, the entire X-Men team was going against Magneto. Do you think that this played out in true fashion to what Magneto? Do you think Magneto could have survived a full onslaught of the entire X-Men squad, or do you think they hyped him up for the show?
No, he has before. So easily, he could do it. He's a bad mamma jamma. I mean, he really is. And I love Magneto as a character, but sometimes I think he's a little OP.
Yeah, you're right. Well, the fact that only Xavier, Professor X, can really tamper him should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
And that scene, you know, by the way, when he puts the helmet on Xavier, I was like, what? This is insane.
Hey, why didn't I think about that?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
Did you guys think you would see that iconic scene of Magneto taking the adamantium out of Wolverine? Did you think you would see that in an animated
series? I would ever see it, but I knew that Wolverine was still in this picture. You know, it's still fighting with the team there, and I'm like, okay, he's not going to be a match for. Unfortunately, I love Wolverine. I think he's just one of the greatest characters ever, and yet when he goes against Magneto, he can't do anything. Magneto's got you. You're done. And when first of all, when he was able to pierce Magneto because he's engaged in something else. I
Mhm.
love that. I thought that was
Yeah.
great. But then I love the fact that I go, well, you didn't kill him. Okay, well, he's going to remove you pretty quickly. He's going to move you right out. And then I didn't expect what they did next, and that's to pull all the metal out from his body. That was amazing.
Can
That
I tell
was
you
incredible.
when that scene happened, it reminded me of the Thanos scene with Thor. When Thor went to take Thanos out, and Thanos said, "You should have went for the head."
Right.
Like, that's what I thought of when he got Magneto from the back, and you're thinking this is the kill shot per se, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and you actually just made him mad. Like that's what happened there. I love that. I love the fact that everybody played Storm. I mean, Storm. They always refer to her, and she is a goddess, right?
Yeah.
But she never was stronger than Magneto. Right?
Yeah.
You never felt that, but you felt that she was stronger than the rest of the
Yes.
X-Men, right? So,
I don't know about that.
take away Jean Grey, because Jean Grey is
See, that's the first
Yeah,
one.
so
You go,
yeah.
you gotta take Jean Grey out of it.
Well, I'm just saying. But even but with like when Cyclops is using his optic blast, at some point in time, like there is a period where Cyclops optic blast can just devastate.
Mhm.
Yes.
Do some damage, just uncontrollable. And you go, okay, well, is someone else can they combat that, or can they withstand that? And I'm like, maybe. So it was viable, that he did, like, but at the same time, I go, when Scott gets mad, he should be able to just tear it up, and so I'm a little disappointed that you didn't see more of that, because
You wanted more from Cyclops.
I just think that his optic blast, I think his powers they've kind of leveled them down a little bit.
Okay.
But like for example, though, so you have Nightcrawler, bouncing back.
Oh, man.
I love that. That
was an incredible scene.
So well, they did it. They did it.
His combos was serious.
Yeah, those fight scenes and all of it were so great, and that was one of the things that stood out to me. And I know it wasn't the end, but that Nightcrawler fight scene was so good, popping in that back and forth, and you could see and the way they played it out was Magneto was starting to what's his name? Yeah, Sebastian. Thank you. Was starting to, because
it's
Sebastian
Machine. That's Sebastian.
He was starting to see it play out. So little by little, as Nightcrawler began to keep doing it and fight him, he could see where he's going to happen next. And you could see that, you could feel that would be true because he is part machine. He could analyze it and see what's going to happen. So that whole scene was great.
I mean, you're right. Yes. So okay, now we've gone through 10 episodes. We remember what the first episode was. Executioner was in it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You remember how the Executioner took down the X-Men, right?
Yeah.
This wasn't the same X-Men team that fought Magneto.
It is.
There's no way, man.
No,
we
talked about this.
That's what it is.
I'm still stuck on that episode, right?
Yeah, but think of how it ended. It ends with Cyclops still saying, "Hey, listen, we're this is part of humanity. We're just going to talk some sense into you.
Mhm.
We're not going to kill you." Like, trying to reason that out. He's going to do that with everybody. He's always done that. You know.
Yeah, agreed. We had that discussion already. We got to move past that. But along with the fight scenes, what I enjoyed was there was some feel good stuff in there too, right? I love the moment when Cyclops is talking to Wolverine, and after he gets the adamantium taken out, and he's like, "Listen, you got to." He was telling him, "That's not your real power. Your real power is healing, and you got to use that real power. That's what you're known for." And I thought that was a great little scene.
Yeah. Well, I even like when he said, "Don't disappoint her," or something like that. He said,
"Yeah." That was a key, right?
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's serious right there. That was like,
because that's because it's heartfelt. Yeah,
he
knows. He obviously knows there's a connection between Jean and him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when you think about so you think about that, you think about Forge and the fact that they actually use Forge a lot more than just a one episode type of character.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. Still see him in there. I actually wanted. I know that they use Cable and we saw a lot of Cable, but I really
psychic powers.
that, which is great because
Yeah.
they never really, explored that in the other animated series.
Exactly.
But that it's there. He might have some. So that was great to be able to see that. I just Forge to me is not Forge. Cable to me is such a tough character that I love to see him in action. And sometimes I think that he gets
Underplayed.
yeah, he's just got underplayed. Yeah, just not.
Well, even that
He's a powerful guy.
you want to talk about touching scenes, right? How about the scene where this the family moment, right? It's Cable, it's
Mhm.
Cyclops,
At the
and
table.
Jean Grey,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and that scene right there, like it closed the gap, like it
Mhm.
really, so that was like, wow, that's that's what I'm saying. So when you look at it, it's like someone came with a checklist and said, "Do we have this? Check. Do we got this? Check. Oh wait, we don't got this one. Pause the film. We got to put this in there, right?" So,
Yeah.
and even with all that, right? So you mentioned Mr. Sinister, which by the way, always came across to me as just a B villain, right? He just wasn't strong
yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the cartoon, in the animated
The
series,
cartoon,
right?
okay,
Yeah.
but I mean,
In the comic book, no, he
comic
was a
book,
bad
he
dude
was-
in the comic book.
yeah, he was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they really captured him in this series
They
because
did.
he controlled Cable.
Mhm.
He did the Madeline
And
Prime.
and you saw that when it was dark in the shadows, you saw the way his
Yes.
movement was.
Yes.
So
How
versus
he,
the
how he threw the car and he was underneath
Right,
as a shadow.
right,
Mhm.
right.
So I'm like, oh wow, this guy's pretty bad, man. I like this guy.
Yes.
So and then come full circle when he gets defeated and they suck his power out, right? You
Right.
see, because he's been just if no one knew, he's just taking powers from people and
Correct,
putting them into
yeah.
his home. And so to
Yeah.
see him get stripped down and he asks more, show me what I look like.
Right.
And when he saw that he was an old man, so they defeat him, but they don't get rid of him. So which
Right.
is key because I
But
think he's
that's-
gonna come on
But
season
that's
2.
classic comic
Yes, it
book
is.
writing.
Yes. Yeah.
You could defeat the bad guy. I mean, Doctor Doom's been defeated many a times, but he doesn't go away.
No.
The Joker's been defeated. He doesn't go away.
No.
But now I will say, so Morph's power here, in this animated series, the way they've treated him over time is that okay, well, I can turn into whomever I want
Mhm.
and use their power.
Physical abilities.
Physical ability, I'm like, or even I'm like, I don't know. I that's the only piece that I'm like, I have a problem with that.
I agree. I enjoyed watching it,
I did.
but I have a
enjoyed
problem with it.
seeing the Hulk do some. I like, but for me, I go, if you're gonna bring the Hulk, just keep the Hulk. Just
Yeah.
keep him there.
Just be
The
Hulk.
Hulk
Yeah.
Yes. So I've seen this and physical ability, and he changed into somebody who's actually a mutant. And he had their powers, not their physical ability.
Yeah.
And so now you start to really thread a line there. Like, what do you
Mhm.
consider the physical ability, and when do you consider like a trait,
Yeah.
right? Like a skill. So he was almost like the get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to kind of like just plug and play him into a situation.
Mhm.
I thought that it was unique the characters they picked for him, right?
I
And
did.
I was like,
I love seeing Juggernaut back on the screen. Stuff
Yep.
stuff like that. I think that's awesome.
and
Fantastic.
he always knew what the character to pick up. I'm gonna be this guy. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be this guy. You know,
I'm
it's like,
over now. Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I always thought, but that's a great way to get characters in there without giving them a story, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Of course.
now what did you think about Captain America, Daredevil, Iron Man? Did you think that they were well used, or you think that was just fan,
Nah,
just
that's just I think it's just for fun.
Well, and that's the thing. I was just going to bring that up with the cameos. I mean, because on the boat when Magneto and Xavier's in Magneto's head, and on that boat out in the water later on out in the ocean, they show who? They show Rogue. They show Quicksilver. They show
Scarlet Witch. Yep.
and they show Polaris. So
Polaris,
these
yep.
are all relationships. So I get that they're cameos, and like you said with Captain America, Spider-Man, we saw MJ and Peter Parker at different times. So all these different cameos. But here's the thing that was so great about it. I loved it. I know that it was just there for a cameo piece or a fanfare, but it fit. It just rolled because it's all part of the same universe. And so it's easy to show these different people in these different places.
But do you think that there's any future with the Silver Samurai, which they showed?
They
a
showed him
number of
twice.
times,
Nice.
Yeah.
which I'm like, okay. All right. Well, what's now? Now Wolverine has a long history with Silver Samurai.
Mhm.
So I'm
Right.
like, is that something they want to explore later?
Oh, how about Alpha Flight?
Yeah, this all show
Alpha
Alpha Flight.
Flight, they show it. Yeah, of course.
Man, that was a throwback. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Omega Red. They showed Omega Red
Omega
as
Red,
well.
right.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you don't get to see Alpha Flight, right?
Yeah.
Because that to me, I think Alpha Flight is almost like that's deep fan, right? Like you got to really know, like they weren't really mainstream, right? You know, like you get Sasquatch and Puck, and
Puck.
you know,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see.
so when you see that, I'm like
Star,
North Star,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Go ahead, spit them all out. Yeah.
Oh
So
no, I'm about done. Actually, what's the lady's name? The girl.
yeah, 'cause she's like a shapeshifter, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
I forgot. I was hoping you would say
Oh
it.
man.
Magic Mike just kind of just laying here in the background there.
I was like Alpha Flight. I was trying to remember. Okay, I have no Puck, and Sasquatch. I was waiting for that. I was like, what's the girl's name? I forgot.
Yeah, it was a sister, like or no, it wasn't a sister, was it?
Snowbird.
Snowbird. That's it.
Snowbird,
Yeah. Yeah,
Snowbird,
that's it.
yeah.
That's it.
You know, so yeah, North Star, Sasquatch, Snowbird, Vindicator.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's
So it's Guardian was the other one, by the way. So but it
see,
was
I love to see Guardian, but see again, that's another one where you go that was in the old animated series, by the way.
yeah.
And they use him here, but again, that is he's a powerful being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, he's in Snap. He's in Snap.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He was a card recently released. Anyway, but so when you see all those cameos, that's pretty awesome. Now let's get to I want to get kind of like, I know this is trademark me, but I want to kind of talk about
Right, the very end. Come on.
the ending and some of the
Okay.
stuff in the background.
So
Okay.
So the very end, or are you talking about the very, very end?
No, not the very, very end, right? Let's not get there
just
yet.
the
Let's
very
talk about, so this is the very end, right? So after everything's said and done, even before that, how did you feel about the Dark Phoenix coming out? Or Phoenix?
I told
Oh,
you,
it wasn't dark. Yeah.
I didn't want to replay her. We already know that she's a Phoenix.
Mhm.
And we already know that the Phoenix can save her at any given time.
Mhm.
So the fact that that we saw it, I'm like, well, you got to see it because you know that she has the capability of using the Phoenix.
Mhm.
We didn't see it for long, which is good. I like
Yes.
that because
But is that the get out of jail free card? Is that the Phoenix?
no, but it's built in though.
That's who
It's-
she is, right?
It's baked
That's
in
part of
now. You can't change it.
Okay, so that was my only gripe. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cheesy a little bit.
Yeah, but
I
if
was
you
like,
didn't see it, then you go, "Oh, where's Phoenix?"
That's
Where's
exactly
I
right.
know.
That's exactly
I
what King
know,
got to be saying.
I know,
Why did they
I
just
know,
bring
you're
Phoenix in?
yeah, you're right. So when everything's said and done, and then obviously people just start disappearing. Let's just say, they are, and I don't want to talk about the timelines yet. I just want to talk about. Did you see the part where there was a poster? What timeline? Did you see the part where there was a poster where they show like disappeared?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you
Presumed that,
see the names that were still around? Right?
I
Do you
tried
remember?
to. I didn't. I only watched it once because
Yeah.
I wanted that feel when I talk about it. But
I wrote them down. So
Oh,
okay. Well, thank you. But no, I did not. So I don't know if it's relevant, but because that plays on the old comic book cover where
Yep.
it was
Days of something mutant.
Days of Future Past, I think. it
right.
was. But so that's just a play on that. But it was presumed dead. It's not the same as the one on the comic book cover. So because it's a completely different story. But
You had some that were AOL.
Yep.
Yeah.
so no, is it? Do you think it's important?
Yeah, so I think there's something to be said here, right? So I'm going to give you the names of the people that are on there, right? It's a little handful. So you had Colossus, you had Iceman,
Mhm.
Yep.
you had Havoc,
Okay.
Havoc, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Shadowcat, what's her name? Pride, something.
Yeah,
Pride.
yeah, yeah.
Free
It was-
Pride, yeah.
Emma Frost and Magic. Those were the names, right? And then obviously you saw in the room there, you had Bishop and Forge,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? So I want you guys to put a little thought into this. So all the original X-Men are in different areas, in different places of time, and who knows where they're at, right? We don't even know where Storm, Wolverine, and Morph.
we
right?
don't know yet. Yeah, thanks for the ending. Okay.
So, so do you think this is the second X-Men group that's going to be put together with Bishop leading them?
I don't know.
You know, so he came back from the future. Obviously, he came back from the future. So I think that there's some things there because Magic is the sister to Colossus. You also have the Scarlet Witch Quicksilver piece that
Sister. Mhm.
yep, their brother and sister.
Yep.
And we saw Polaris on that boat with Magneto. So I don't think we won't see her. I think she'll end up coming up. I think there's something to be said there, a little foreshadowing, right?
Maybe.
Right. And then if you start to go down to the end, right? So the end
Go ahead.
the end of the end of the end.
Spoil it for everybody.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. That's my name. So we see the human version of Apocalypse.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. So we see that one group or part of a group gets transferred to 3000 BC, and another group goes like 2900 or 3900.
3099, 39, something like that.
Yeah, AD.
3099. Yeah.
So one in the past, one in the future. Yeah, in the past, there's there he is, Apocalypse.
Yes.
And then of course the roll the end credits.
Yes.
You get to see Apocalypse in the very end. You didn't stay for the credits. Well, you should have.
You should have.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And you saw what he picked up.
Yes.
Remind me.
He picked up a queen
playing card.
Oh, the playing card. Yeah. That's right.
And he said death all around him. Now,
yes.
we all know the story of Apocalypse, and he has his 4 horsemen.
Yes.
Right? Do you guys remember the 4 horsemen, who they were?
Well, I know he had Gambit at one point as Death.
Correct.
Well, and of course he had Angel.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's the other one.
Let's see, who else did he have?
I've already mentioned one of them.
Well, you may have. I just don't remember. Go ahead.
Polaris
Yes. Okay.
and Wolverine.
He had Wolverine.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah, modern Apocalypse he had Wolverine as a horseman, right?
Okay.
So, which would also explain why we didn't see Wolverine. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'd love if this is where they're going to go. I love this, right? Because you get to see, because I don't remember in the original X-Men that we see Archangel. Did we see him? I think we did. I
In
can't
the original
remember.
X-Men animation.
Yeah.
I wanted to say we did.
Yeah, but I think the Apocalypse was obviously in the original X-Men, but I don't remember if we ever saw the Horseman.
No, I don't think we saw the Horseman. I think we just saw Archangel or Angel.
I think we saw a little bit at the end, if I'm remembering now, a little bit towards the end of the X-Men original series in season 5. We started seeing some of the 4 Horsemen.
Yeah, so I like where they're going with it. So I think they want to show their origin of Apocalypse, and the group that's in the future is like against Apocalypse. So that group, I don't know if you recognize that group, who it was, but that group was the name didn't. I had to do a little research on it, but that group was anti-Apocalypse. So it's interesting how that's going to play.
Yeah, well, there's a leak that DeMayo kind of put out there a little bit, and people were talking about the ones that they didn't see in the past or the future, and somebody had mentioned about the future, and he was like, maybe, and he kind of hinted to that a little bit, and so I'm curious because these are the ones that we know some and where they went in the future and the past, but we don't know all of them, and he hinted to that, so I don't know if I like that he hinted to it, but nonetheless, it's out there. But
he shouldn't have hinted to it. Absolutely not. Yeah. I think that led us to our devices and let us figure out if we think it's going to be.
What does he care? He's no longer there, which is, I'm not sure why still, because after this, this is an amazing job all around.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say either way because I don't know. I'm just saying wow, altogether, so this is incredible. And they did a lot of the little things that you see. We talked about like the cameos and different things. I don't know if you guys I caught it, and I did actually go back and rewind this one little piece. But when they're opening up Magneto's file and they show some of the things, and I saw something that caught my eyes, like, well, that's interesting. But they list some of his aliases.
Okay, go ahead. Shoot him
and
out.
this was what's interesting. So some of his aliases are they have Ian with his last name crossed out. They have Michael with the last name crossed out. And then they have, and I just lost his name.
Well, that's that one. Those are just paying homage to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just one of those little cool things. But They also had him at as the name of what was his name? David
Copperfield.
no, Hinben or the original voice actor. They had
Oh,
him
did
on
they
that.
really? Oh, that's right.
Yes, and I thought that was really cool. It's those little details that made part of this show. It was great as it was. That just
Yeah.
added to the feels of watching this show.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It's funny is that they had a file just like they would like a Batman or a Superman, where it's like a contingency, how to get rid of him if they got out of control.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty interesting there. How about Rogue? Let's talk about Rogue for a second. They finally gave her due and show her that she has some powers.
I guess probably a little much. You know,
You think it was too much?
It went from like little to extreme. They went the bridge they had to build there was so long.
So what was the hard part? What was the part that you thought was a little much?
Well, I mean, from a comic book perspective, Rogue has always been a very powerful character, always underrated. Matter of fact, her strength is probably, she's in the the range of like 20 to 50 million ton press.
Can she match Hulk strength?
No, not even close.
I'm just asking. I'm trying to gauge where we're at.
She's very, very strong in the comic book.
Are you talking about Hulk or Morph Hulk?
More for a different question. All right.
Yeah. So when it comes to her overall ability, though, see, I'd like to see her use her ability more rather than just flying in her strength, because that is true. But her real power comes from going, okay, all right, partner, let me just touch you. Boom, done.
I was
definitely
watching going,
used that
take
enough.
off the gloves. Take off the gloves.
Yeah. She definitely used that enough.
She could shine like the sun on that one. I mean, she can really you take a character like Jubilee and you're like, Jubilee doesn't know where she fits in, fireworks, and like, oh, I don't know, really want to, but you take somebody like Rogue who would touch Jubilee and would go, let me show you how to use this.
Yeah.
And then use her powers to an ultimate. So, that's kind of cool if you could do something like that. But again, I thought they could have used that power more and kind of showcase that, but they didn't. So
well, and you talk about went from 0 to 100. I thought Jubilee went from 0 to 100. I'm like, come on now, Jubilee's a fireworks display. Come on, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, but there's got to be something. You think, okay,
but you thought she would. You thought she would have took what she learned from Mojo World, and she did it. So she had her moment where half her glasses is like cracked, and I'm like, she's gonna release her final boss move, and then sacrifice her soul. And then you're gonna be like, oh, we love Jubilee. We didn't know she could do that. Right. But nothing happened. I'm like, okay, I always thought she never fit anyway.
Well, she fit the initial piece, just like Morph did. It fit the initial piece of the initial X-Men, and then when they brought back Morph in the original series, I thought they did a good job of that. I really did. I was like, oh, really? But he was a fan favorite. People liked him. And so in this case, you go, was he a favorite at all in this series? And I can't say that he was. I mean, the fact that he changed into people, that's cool.
That's what made him cool.
You don't remember Morph. You remember the people he changed into.
Well, think about the scene when Nimrod, Bastion, whatever you want to call him, sees Sinister comes up. We need to go. We need to evacuate. And then I'm for a minute there, for a split second, I'm like, that doesn't seem like what Mr. Sinister would do. Like before he knew that he was wrong, I'm like, that doesn't seem like a Mr. Sinister thing. And then I love that he just, how dare you try to trick me? He would never. He would never come on. He saved himself before he came and tried to save me. So I was like, exactly. This guy doesn't care about him. It's like
he should have had Sinister's powers, though. Like so. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah. So look, let's go with some scores, because it's way past our bedtime on this podcast. So time flies when you're having fun. What would you give it in a score? Let's start with you, Game Guy. What do you think?
What's the range? Are we doing like JP range? Are we doing 1 to 15, 1 to 10? What are we doing here?
Let's see. For the past 432 episodes, we was 1 to 10. So let's just do a 1 to 10.
Okay, I appreciate
let's change
that.
It up a little bit. Go 1 to 10.
Yeah, I appreciate the clarification on there. Man, 1 to 10. Man, I got to tell you, I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna give it an 11. Okay. I think it's a 10 for me. It's a 10 for me.
Oh.
I'd watch this show over and over again. This is something I put on when I'm going to sleep, wake up.
We got you. Magic Mike?
Yeah, I can't believe he said 10. As a matter of fact, I think he's going to change his mind when we get done here and go back to a 7.5. But this is absolutely a 10. There's no question what score it should be. It's how many are going to grade it a 10 because it's all of us. Moose is going to do the same thing.
Well, you hear that music. I'm not even going to be able to give my score because that music comes on.
Of course. Hedges bets.
Look, I'm giving this thing a 9.9.
Oh, come on.
All right.
Come on.
I mean, listen, there's some things I didn't like. What do you want me to say? It is at least a 0.1.
Wow.
9.9.
Can you believe that, Magic Mike?
No, I don't believe it. He's only saying it because he doesn't want to. He's hedging his bets.
For what?
For season
It's
2.
over. Game over, man.
I was just leaving. Da-da-da-da.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.